When we look at the viability of your product idea, we have to look at it from two sides. We have to look at it from, are people going to buy your product? But also, is your product offer valid? Specifically, the pricing around your product, is it scalable? So I had a conversation with a gentleman a couple weeks ago that had a really cool idea for a kitchen gadget. It was a custom product. It solved a need in the world. So he came to me and said, "Hey, the problem my product is solving is this, and here's the market I want to go after." And I definitely, number one, had to give him kudos because I was like, you've done your market research, you understand the problem that your product is solving, and you understand the demographic that's going to buy this product and the demographic that really struggles with this problem. So let's unpack this idea and see if it's actually a viable model. Now, everything that we really talk about on this channel up until now has been about how to really understand your market and how to get people understand the real thing that you're selling. And this conversation today is taking a candid look at the other side of the financial aspect of your product. Because just because you have an idea that sounds good on paper, you've done your research, it's definitely a problem that this demographic has and that sort of thing. But the other side of it is, do you have the foundation for a viable, scalable model? So I'm going to be reliving that conversation today because I think that there is just so much that new entrepreneurs bringing ideas to market kind of don't look at this, and they invest all these things into bringing inventory to market only to discover that they don't have margins enough to scale their product. So let's have a discussion about that. So here we have a side where when I look at the viability of a product, I'm like, all right, so the first thing, your product needs to solve a problem in someone's life. People buy things to solve problems. It is a fundamental human principle that we run toward pleasure and run away from pain. And so because of that, you have two ways to sell a product. You either talk about the pleasure it's going to give you, whether that's boosting your status, help you lose weight, or the reverse, help you stay away from a problem or run away from pain. And in this case, the kitchen gadget helped a demographic not experience that pain point anymore. So when I look on paper, awesome, you check that first box. But there was a big problem with his business model, and that was he didn't didn't understand the margin side of it. So this product is a $25 product where after cost of goods, landed cost of say $8 for this, he has about $15 to play with to pay for customer acquisition, operating expenses, and actually scaling his product. And when we looked at other similar products in his space, it was very unlikely that he was going to be able to double the price of his product to give him healthier margins, because every other product at that point was, in comparison, like a $15 item. So when you look at other items in that wheelhouse, he was already priced at the higher end of what the market was going to allow him to charge for that. So because of that, it was like, hey, look, here's how it works from a customer acquisition standpoint. Let's say that you put this product on Amazon. Let's say you put this product on your Shopify store. You're going to need to get people to come to your storefront and buy this product. And you do that with paid ads. And generally, in order for you to even just break even to get to the point where you're profitable, you're going to have to acquire that customer for $10 or less. And let's be real, in 2023, 2024, CPAs that low are nearly unheard of. So that's no, in a unicorn situation, you don't build a business off assuming you're going to be that unicorn. So when we look at the margins, I'm like, look, out of your $25 sale, once you take away that $8 for the cost per unit, that leaves you with, say, give or take $15. And assuming your acquisition cost is like $5, at that point, you make $10 off every unit. It's just not a viable model. So in that case, he was like, well, where do I go from here? I was like, well, let's look at your idea from a different standpoint. You are selling a lower priced item that is generally commoditized. There is no option for you to double the price of this right now and still be successful. So instead, What if you were to change the offer of the very thing you're selling where you solve the same problem, but you do it in a more profitable way? So, for example, instead of selling this $25 item that helps certain people avoid this problem, what you can do is you can actually source 3 to 4 different products and bundle it into a box or a kit that retails for 150 to 200 US. And what you're branding that kit is the all-in-one package to help this niche do this thing. And while I'm not going to get into specifics here, the reason why this is a much better approach is because you're solving the same problem, but in a creative way that's never been done before, or it's a new spin on a current idea, and you're able to charge a much higher price for that because the pain you're solving is something that people struggle enough with that they're willing to pay a high price for that. So when you look at your business model, understand the very thing you're selling. Just because you're onto the right problem, strong problem, strong demographic, we have to look at the scalability of your model from like, are you charging enough for your product? This is the very reason why businesses that are only have products that are $30 and they don't bundle it in a way to increase the average order value, they really struggle to scale because there are just no margins. So if you from the very beginning, or maybe you're looking for that next level in your business, you're looking for a smart solution to get better margins, think about how can you repackage the problem in a different way to sell it at a higher price point. Okay, so this is a more coherent conversation around really looking at your business model differently, because in 2024, it is not enough to be solving a problem and understanding your niche. There is a whole other financial side that can hinder you if you don't think this through in the very beginning.